Coral reefs thrive where sunlight, clear water, and living structure meet. Every coral branch creates shelter for smaller lives. Reef color supports communication, camouflage, and survival. Cleaning stations allow different species to cooperate peacefully. Daylight transforms the reef hour by hour. A healthy reef is a living community, not a single organism. Coastal nurseries connect the land, the tide, and the open sea. Seagrass meadows feed turtles, dugongs, fish, and countless invertebrates.
mangrove roots protect young animals during their most vulnerable stage.
Each tide carries food, oxygen, and new life into the shallows. Estuaries mix river nutrients with the salt water of the ocean. Healthy coasts depend on mangroves, seagrass, reefs, and open water remaining connected. The open ocean is a moving world shaped by currents and migration.
Whales cross entire seas to reach seasonal feeding and breeding grounds.
Dolphins use cooperation, sound, and memory to travel through open water.
Ocean fronts concentrate plankton and attract animals from great distances.
Even floating seaweed can become a temporary nursery in the blue.
Pelagic life survives through endurance, timing, and constant movement.
The Coral Triangle shelters an extraordinary concentration of marine life.
Many island species occur nowhere else on Earth. With
Camouflage allows tiny animals to disappear within coral, sponge, and sand. And
Reef partnerships exchange shelter, cleaning, transport, and food. Coral spawning briefly connects distant reefs through open water. This diversity depends on healthy habitats, from mangroves to deep reef slopes.
cephalopods read their surroundings through touch, color, and motion.
Octopuses explore the seafloor with flexible arms and sensitive suckers. Squid communicate through rapidly controlled skin patterns.
Cuttlefish combine camouflage, depth perception, and precise fin movement.
Nautiluses preserve an ancient body design adapted to steep tropical reefs. These intelligent mollusks inhabit waters from bright lagoons to the abyss.
Small crustaceans keep marine communities active from dawn until night.
Crabs carry armor adapted to sand, rock, coral, kelp, and deep mud.
Shrimp clean fish, build burrows, filter plankton, and share shelters.
Lobsters navigate reefs using touch, smell, and long antennae. Camouflage may be grown, borrowed, or carried across the seafloor.
Here we see the arrow crab, traversing a colorful garden of orange tube sponges. Its delicate movements belie its resilience.
From tide pools to hydrothermal vents, armored life occupies almost every habitat.
Temperate seas change with season, surge, and the growth of kelp.
Kelp forests create three-dimensional shelter from seafloor to surface. Cold water reefs can be as colorful as tropical coral gardens.
Seals, fish, octopuses, and crustaceans move through the same underwater forest.
Coastal surge shapes every movement among rocks and kelp.
Seasonal light controls the rhythm of these rich, temperate communities.
Polar oceans remain rich with life beneath cold water and drifting ice. Sea ice provides shelter, feeding grounds, and breathing spaces.
polar seafloors support sponges, corals, crabs, and slow-growing invertebrates. The
Arctic and Antarctic species are precisely adapted to seasonal extremes.
Even in winter darkness, the polar ocean remains alive. Of it. In the deep ocean, patience and efficiency replace speed and sunlight. Bioluminescence is used for signaling, camouflage, and finding food. Marine snow carries organic energy from the surface into the abyss.
The tripod fish uses its elongated fins to stand high above the soft seabed, patiently waiting for prey to drift by.
Hydrothermal vents support communities powered without sunlight.
The largest habitat on Earth remains quiet, dark, and far from empty. Across every ocean, life is linked by water, climate, and time. Currents connect tropical reefs, temperate forests, and polar seas. Migration carries animals across boundaries drawn only on human maps. The canyon currents guide us now toward the cooler, more temperate waters of the deeper ocean. Every habitat contributes energy and life to the wider ocean. Protecting marine diversity means protecting the connections between habitats. The ocean is a single living system, expressed through countless forms.
Around every giant, smaller lives find shelter, direction and rhythm. Above the endless ocean, the greatest lives of the sea begin to reveal a hidden world below. The first wonder of the sea is scale. A silent giant moving beneath a world of light. Now the journey leaves the sky behind and follows life into the sea.
Beneath the surface, the ocean becomes a cathedral of blue light, motion, and life. Every movement from the largest life in the ocean sends a quiet rhythm through the sea. From below, the ocean reveals its true scale, where giants move. Like shadows of another world. The giant leads us away from the surface and toward the hidden colors of the sea. As the giants fade into the blue, the reef begins to rise like a living city beneath the ocean. The sea paints with motion, and every fish becomes part of the living color. An ancient traveler crosses the reef, carrying the quiet memory of the sea. Every path through the ocean is shaped by patience. Current, and light. The reef is not still and light. The reef is not still scenery. It is an ocean city constantly at work. Even the sand beneath the sea is filled with quiet signs of life. Together, small lives create patterns that make the ocean feel endless. Inside the school, the sea becomes pure motion, carrying us deeper into the reef. The school becomes a pathway, leading us farther into the ocean's hidden architecture. Every tower of coral is a crowded ocean neighborhood, built by life over time. Color here is not decoration, it is the language of the reef. The reef holds secret spaces where the ocean slows down and becomes quiet. The ocean survives through small relationships that happen far from the surface. What looks like one wall is really thousands of lives holding the reef together. From every hidden corner, the reef opens again toward the wider sea. Beyond the reef wall, the ocean brings back the grace of a larger world. Some creatures seem to fly through the sea, turning the ocean itself into sky. The reef has shown its colors, but the open ocean is still calling us forward. The reef begins to fall away, and the wider ocean invites us into deeper blue. At this edge, the ocean changes mood without losing its beauty. Small fish become one living shape, turning the sea into motion. And inside the school, the ocean feels endless, alive, and perfectly connected.
Beyond the reef, another gentle giant rises from the blue. The ocean's largest travelers move with a silence that makes the sea feel sacred. Around every giant, smaller lives find shelter, direction, and rhythm. From below, the sea turns a living giant into a moving constellation. The giant fades into the blue, but its path leads us back toward the living reef. From open blue back to coral color, the ocean keeps unfolding one world into another. The ocean has brought us back to the reef, where color becomes the next great discovery. Every opening in the coral leads to another chamber of life. The reef is not a single place, but a maze of living rooms beneath the sea. Among the colors, ancient travelers pause as if the ocean itself is breathing. The deeper we look, the more the ocean fills every space with life. Small lives gather into great movement, and the sea becomes a living pattern. Here, the ocean becomes a theater of color, scale, and silent motion. Everything in the reef is connected by currents too soft for the eye to measure. From sky to surface, from surface to reef, the ocean has opened the door to its hidden kingdom. Ahead lies the coral kingdom, where the ocean's colors will become even more alive. The first chapter does not end with discovery. It opens wider into the living colors of the sea. Every wall of coral becomes a doorway, and every doorway leads deeper into the ocean's design. Beneath the moving colors, the ocean floor holds quieter lives that keep the reef alive. The sea gathers small lives into shapes that feel larger than the reef itself. Inside the school, the ocean becomes a river made entirely of life. Ancient travelers pass through the reef as if they know every current by memory. The reef, the giants, and the open sea are never separate. They are one moving world. From the smallest cleaner to the largest shadow, the ocean builds wonder in layers. A single coral tower can feel like a whole ocean when every surface is alive. The ocean has shown us its entrance, and now the coral kingdom is ready to reveal its full brilliance. The coral kingdom opens wider, and the ocean turns color into living motion. Every bright surface of the sea hides a smaller world working quietly beneath it. The deeper we follow one small life, the larger the ocean becomes. In the calmest spaces of the sea, ancient travelers move as if time itself has slowed. Life does not simply pass through the reef. It shapes the ocean with every movement. When thousands move as one, the sea becomes a single breathing shape. The ocean connects tiny sparks of life with giants moving silently above. Even beneath the brightest reef, the seafloor holds its own quiet choreography. The ocean keeps lifting us from detail into wonder, from one hidden life into thousands more. The first chapter has opened the door, but the brightest heart of the ocean is still ahead.
The ocean draws us deeper, where every color seems to lead toward another hidden world.
Continuing through the gateway, we observe the stunning bioluminescence of the coral pillar, teeming with life as the silver spratfish.
The reef hides its wonders in chambers, and each chamber opens like a secret beneath the sea. Even the quiet floor of the ocean is filled with movement, patience, and design. From the sea floor to the open water, the ocean is always rising into motion.
Through the living cloud, an ancient traveler appears again, carrying the calm rhythm of the reef. The reef, the turtle, and the open sea move together as one long breath. Every layer of the ocean leads the eye forward, from small color to giant shadow. This living amphitheater is only the beginning of the ocean's deeper brilliance. Ahead, the ocean's coral kingdom waits in full color, ready to pull us even deeper. The ocean pulls us deeper, where color gathers into a living cathedral beneath the sea.
From far away it looks like beauty, but up close the ocean becomes endless work.
Every passage beneath the sea feels designed to lead the eye toward another wonder.
The reef does not reveal everything at once. The ocean opens it layer by layer. An ancient traveler crosses the chamber, carrying the patience of the sea through the reef. The ocean's calmest moments are filled with lives that never stop moving. When thousands move together, the sea becomes a single, shimmering breath. Above the reef, the ocean gives space to giants, while the colors continue below. The ocean keeps moving between grand scale and hidden detail, never losing its rhythm.
The first chapter keeps widening, and the ocean's brightest kingdom is still waiting ahead.
The ocean's brightest kingdom begins to rise ahead, pulling every current toward color. From a distance, the reef is breathtaking. Up close, the sea becomes infinite.
One small fish can lead us into a chamber the ocean has kept hidden. Beneath the coral colors, the ocean floor carries its own quiet life. The sea lifts the smallest lives upward until they become a shining cloud. Through the living cloud, an ancient traveler returns, slow and steady in the ocean light.
The turtle moves between the reef and the open sea as if both are one breath.
Every layer of the ocean leads forward, from tiny color to giant shadow. This living amphitheater is only the entrance to the ocean's deeper brilliance. Ahead, the ocean's coral kingdom waits in full brilliance, ready to carry us into the next chapter. The first doorway has opened, and the ocean now leads us toward its brightest kingdom.
Every color in the sea is alive, and every surface holds another hidden story. The ocean does not reveal itself all at once. It invites us deeper, one chamber at a time. Even the quiet floor of the sea is part of the reef's living heartbeat. From the smallest lives, the ocean creates movement vast enough to fill the blue.
Between the tiny school and the ancient traveler, the sea shows every scale of wonder.
The reef carries every traveler forward, from bright shallows toward a deeper kingdom of color. The opening journey has shown us giants, reefs, and hidden life, but the heart of the ocean is still ahead. This living amphitheater is the final gate of our beginning, a bridge from wonder into full discovery.
Part 1 ends at the doorway. Ahead, the ocean's coral kingdom begins to shine in its full brilliance. Now the ocean opens its coral kingdom, where color, shelter, and life become one. Every tower of coral is a living city built slowly beneath the sea. The closer we move, the more the ocean turns beauty into detail. One small fish can guide us into a chamber the sea has hidden from above. Beneath the coral colors, the ocean floor holds a quieter rhythm of life. The smallest lives gather into motion, and the sea becomes a shining current. Through the silver cloud, an ancient traveler returns to the heart of the reef. The turtle moves through the coral kingdom as if every current knows its path. Here, the reef becomes a kingdom of layers, each one alive with movement. The coral kingdom is only beginning to unfold, and the ocean still holds deeper colors ahead. Deeper inside the coral kingdom, the ocean becomes richer, brighter, and more alive. The ocean's brilliance is built by lives almost too small to see. Each doorway in the reef reveals another secret room beneath the sea. Even below the colors, the ocean floor continues the story in silence. The sea turns tiny bodies into one great moving light. Through motion, the ocean guides us from one living scene to the next. The reef's colors are not still. They move, feed, hide, and return. Above the coral kingdom, the ocean still carries the grace of giants. From shadow to color, the sea connects every layer of life. The coral kingdom stretches farther ahead, and the ocean's living colors are still unfolding. The ocean's colors continue to unfold, revealing a kingdom built from movement and light. The closer we look, the more the sea turns color into countless living details. One small fish can lead us deeper into the ocean's secret architecture. Beneath the bright coral, the ocean floor keeps its own quiet rhythm. The sea gathers its smallest lives into a shining cloud that moves as one.
Through motion, the ocean leads us from hidden detail into wider beauty.
Every current in the reef carries color, food, shelter, and direction. Above the reef, the ocean still makes space for giants moving in silence.
The shadow of a giant passes over thousands of smaller lives, all connected by the same sea.
The coral kingdom keeps expanding, and the ocean still has more hidden chambers to reveal. The coral kingdom leads us inward, where the ocean hides its most delicate rooms. Inside each hidden chamber, the sea becomes quieter, closer, and more alive. The ocean's smallest workers keep the kingdom shining from within. The reef guides us from one living doorway to the next. Even the quiet sand beneath the sea belongs to the living kingdom. From the floor of the ocean, life rises into motion like a cloud of light. The sea moves us from hidden detail
into a wider field of color. Across the Coral Valley, the ocean brings ancient travelers back into view. The turtle carries the calm of the reef through a kingdom always in motion. The Coral Kingdom breathes through every layer, and the ocean still opens farther ahead. The Coral Kingdom has shown its layers, but the ocean is still guiding us beyond the reef. Before the reef falls behind, the sea reminds us that every detail here is alive. The final chambers of the reef glow like memories the ocean asks us to carry forward. Even at the edge of the kingdom, the ocean floor continues its quiet work. The reef sends its smallest lights upward, preparing the sea for a wider journey. Beyond the colors of the Coral Kingdom, the open sea begins to call again. The turtle follows the current from shelter toward the vast ocean beyond. The reef has been a kingdom of color, but the open ocean holds the giants of the next chapter. As the coral fades behind us, a larger shadow begins to rise from the blue.
Part 2 leaves the Coral Kingdom behind, and ahead, the open ocean reveals its gentle giants.
Before the giants fully appear, the reef sends one final wave of life into the open sea. The Coral Kingdom does not end suddenly. It fades slowly into the wider ocean. Even at the edge of the reef, the seafloor continues its quiet choreography. The reef lifts its smallest lights into the blue, as if preparing the ocean for something larger. The turtle becomes our guide from the colored reef into the calm blue distance. Behind us, color. Ahead, scale. Between them, the ocean carries every life forward. The open ocean begins to replace the reef with space, silence, and enormous grace.
At this boundary, the Coral Kingdom becomes memory, and the sea ahead becomes possibility.
The reef releases us gently, letting the current carry us toward the giants. Part 2 closes as the Coral Kingdom fades, and ahead, the open ocean prepares to reveal its gentle giants. The reef falls behind like a memory, and the ocean ahead begins to grow larger. Beyond the Coral Kingdom, the sea becomes quieter, wider, and filled with expectation. Even where the reef begins to disappear, the ocean still carries traces of its color. The small fish leave the reef in waves, carrying its rhythm into the open sea. The turtle moves between worlds, leaving color behind and entering the quiet blue. Behind us lies shelter. Ahead waits scale, silence, and the calm power of giants. The ocean opens vertically now, with life moving above, below, and far ahead. In the open sea, even distance feels alive, and every shadow carries promise. The Coral Kingdom has almost vanished, but its life continues forward through the current. The ocean has carried us from color into vastness, and the gentle giants are now waiting ahead. The ocean has left the reef behind, but every current still carries its life forward. The small fish become a bridge between the Coral Kingdom and the giants of the sea. Even at the edge of the reef, the ocean leaves no life behind. The reef disappears from sight, but its rhythm continues inside the moving school. The turtle becomes a quiet guide, moving between the memory of color and the promise of scale. In the open ocean, distance becomes part of the wonder. The ocean has become larger than the frame, and every shadow ahead feels alive. Food, light, and movement gather here, drawing the giants closer without sound. The ocean asks us to wait, because true scale is revealed slowly. The coral kingdom has given way to the open ocean, and the giants are almost ready to emerge. The reef has disappeared behind us, and now the ocean begins to reveal its quiet giants. The smaller lives lead the way, turning the open sea into a path of light. The ocean becomes quieter here, as if every current is making room for scale. The sea reveals its giants in pieces through motion, light, and patience. A gentle giant takes form in the blue, carrying the calm power of the open ocean.
The open sea is a world of layers, where giants move above, below, and beyond us.
The farther we travel from the reef, the more the ocean replaces color with wonder. The giant waits in the blue, not as a threat, but as an invitation into the next world. The coral kingdom has ended behind us, and the open ocean is ready to begin its chapter of giants. The open ocean is no longer above the Pacific Ocean. A superstorm turns the sea into a vast field of power.
Deeper inside the Pacific Reef, the storm turns the coral world into a fortress of survival.
From above, the storm appears almost alive, shaping the surface of the ocean with relentless force. For the smallest fish, every coral branch becomes a wall against the moving sea. At the surface of the Pacific, wind, rain, and waves merge into one moving body. Yet beneath this chaos, another world is waiting in the sea below.
The storm reaches the bottom as moving sand, and the seafloor becomes a place of constant change.
The superstorm rules the surface, but the ocean beneath it is beginning to respond. To understand this storm, we must follow it below the waves.
When the Pacific grows restless, the strongest shelter is often found beneath the reef itself.
Below the storm, the sea is still restless, filled with noise, motion, and pressure.
The same storm that threatens the reef also sends food through its hidden corridors.
The superstorm above reshapes the first layers of the ocean, stirring everything in its reach. Inside the storm-dark reef, the old balance of hunter and hidden prey continues. Even before the reef appears, life in the Pacific Ocean is already adapting to the force above. Beneath the raging surface, the hidden life of the Pacific is just beginning to come into view. This reef is not only surviving the Pacific storm, it is using every shape, shelter, and current to stay alive. Farther below the storm, the Pacific begins to reveal the lives that endure beneath the violence above. Within the coral, the smallest spaces become the strongest protection. The reef is not a single shelter, but thousands of shelters joined together by the sea. The ocean floor is not untouched by the storm. It feels the force as current, pressure, and shifting light. When the storm presses down from above, even the smallest fish know where safety begins.
Some fish survive the moving water by holding still in the right place. Every surge from above sends another signal through the reef. The reef becomes a fortress, and every crevice in the sea becomes a refuge.
On the seafloor, survival can mean staying low, staying still, and letting the storm pass overhead.
In the sand, the storm turns every open doorway into a risk. Beneath the superstorm, even sight becomes uncertain. Each species answers the storm in its own way, anchoring, hiding, or yielding to the current. The storm can be felt as a rhythm in the water, and the reef responds to every shift. Not every survivor moves quickly. Some endure by holding their place.
Even in the middle of a superstorm, the ocean still contains places of relative calm.
Even fragile forms can become shelter when the ocean begins to move with force.
Some creatures do not flee the storm. They wait inside the reef and let the sea bring the world to them.
Behind the moving coral, the reef hides quiet rooms for those small enough to enter. Below the storming Pacific, a hidden world is already adapting, enduring, and waiting for the next surge from above. The coral reef beneath the Pacific storm is a maze of pressure, shelter, and living response.
Beneath the Pacific storm, the reef becomes a shelter shaped by pressure, current, and instinct.
Inside this reef maze, every creature depends on the shape of the ocean around it.
When the water grows stronger, the reef becomes a shelter of narrow spaces.
Every branch of coral becomes a narrow refuge when the ocean above is in chaos.
The reef wall becomes a living shield against the restless sea.
In rough water, even a short crossing becomes a decision. On the seafloor, the safest creature may be the one that almost disappears. The storm changes the seafloor, but some lives survive by becoming almost invisible. Under the storm, every open crossing becomes a test of timing. For some creatures beneath the waves, stillness is the strongest defense. The hidden animals of the reef survive the storm by holding to the ocean's strongest edges. The storm turns the coral chamber into both a hiding place and a feeding ground. The reef does not fight every force. It bends, absorbs, and waits.
Even during the storm, the small services of the reef continue in hidden corners.
Even a storm can carry food through the sea, turning danger into opportunity. The storm changes the water, but the ancient balance of the reef remains. In the shelter of the reef, hunters and hunted share the same storm. Every shelter in the reef belongs to a larger system of pressure, hunger, and protection.
Below the superstorm, the Pacific is not silent. It is a living world responding to pressure from above.
The reef has become a living refuge, but the Pacific storm is still pushing deeper through the sea.
The Pacific storm is still reaching downward, turning every coral corridor into a test of survival. The storm above continues to press into the sea, and every hidden life below must answer. Inside the reef,
The smallest spaces become the safest rooms in the ocean. In the smallest openings of the ocean floor, survival is measured in seconds. Tiny creatures beneath the waves read the current through touch before they dare to move. The reef is built from countless hiding places, each one shaped by the sea. Beneath the storm, the ocean floor opens and closes like a restless, hidden world. When the water changes, cooperation becomes another form of shelter. The young lives of the reef gather tightly when the sea becomes unpredictable. When the sea becomes unstable, even the smallest partnership must work faster. The reef holds many kinds of strength, from gripping arms to hidden claws.
Some creatures survive the storm by becoming part of the reef itself.
In rough water, disguise is not only a trick, it is a way to endure. The storm turns danger into food, but only for those quick enough to risk the open sea. Even the moving corals become shelter when the storm pushes through the sea. In the storm-dark reef, camouflage becomes a silent form of patience. The storm changes the rhythm of the reef, but the ancient tension between hunter and hidden prey remains. The reef guides them through the storm, one protected passage at a time. Beneath the Pacific superstorm, every hidden creature becomes part of one living response. Beneath the Pacific superstorm, the coral reef survives as one connected refuge of movement, pressure, and life. Below the Pacific superstorm, the sea becomes a test of shelter, instinct, and endurance. Inside the reef, survival is shared by every creature that can find shelter from the moving sea. In unstable water, moving together becomes the safest shape in the ocean.
The storm makes the open water dangerous, and the reef answers with hidden rooms.
What looks like a wall is really a crowded world holding itself against the current. The storm changes the water, and every fish answers with motion. For larger animals, the same current that threatens the small can become a path through the sea. On the storm-dark seafloor, hiding can mean becoming part of the sand. The ocean covers some lives so completely that survival becomes almost invisible. Near the seafloor, survival depends less on
the ancient sea carves pathways where life can travel, hide, and return.
The Red Sea does not reveal itself all at once. It offers one living detail at a time.
The sea feeds even the quietest forms, carrying life through invisible currents. The sea teaches movement through rhythm, and the Red Sea reef answers with life.
Beneath the surface of this ancient ocean, the Red Sea begins to reveal a hidden world.
In the sea, awareness moves faster than sound, passing through a school like light. Around a single coral tower, the sea gathers shelter, food, movement, and risk. The sea feeds even the quietest forms, carrying life through invisible currents.
Even in the brightest hour, the Red Sea keeps many of its lives unseen.
Every ray of light touches an ocean realm shaped by time, heat, salt, and life.
Near the reef, the sea is never still, every surface becomes a place to live.
In the sea, awareness moves faster than sound, passing through a school like light.
The closer we look into this sea, the more worlds within worlds begin to appear. Here, the ocean has built a living kingdom from stone, sunlight, and patience.
The Red Sea is not empty water. It is an ancient ocean filled with quiet movement.
Each hidden opening in this sea is a doorway to another small life.
The journey begins at the reef, but the Red Sea still holds far more than the eye can see. Beyond the reef, the sea opens into a silence older than memory.
In this ocean, even the smallest motion carries the memory of life.
Each hidden opening in this sea is a doorway to another small life. Around a single coral tower, the sea gathers shelter, food, movement, and risk. As the light changes, the ancient Red Sea begins to show a different face.
Deeper below the surface, the seal's hidden life becomes harder to see, but impossible to ignore. The ocean floor appears still, yet beneath its calm surface, life is already awake.
This ancient ocean hides its wonders in layers of color, shadow, and silence. This is the doorway into the Red Sea's ancient hidden kingdom.
Deeper below the surface, the seal's hidden life becomes harder to see, but impossible to ignore. At the edge of the reef, the ocean breathes through thousands of tiny bodies.
Above, the sun burns bright. Below, the ocean keeps its hidden life protected. Every crack in this ocean reef may shelter a life unseen by the passing eye. Ahead, the sea will open into a hidden kingdom where every color shelters life.
In the ancient ocean, survival often begins with knowing where to hide.
The first gate of the Red Sea is open. Beyond it, hidden life is.
The reef is only the beginning. Beyond it, the ocean falls into deeper secrets. Here, the ancient ocean divides the world between safety, hunger, and the unknown. The ocean current writes invisible paths through this living architecture. From a distance, the ocean looks peaceful. Up close, it is alive in every direction.
Some forms in this ocean grow slowly, carrying the marks of decades beneath the waves. The Red Sea is an ocean of thresholds, where light fades and mystery begins.
Color is not decoration in this ocean. It is language, warning, disguise, and attraction. Across this ancient ocean floor, every open space leads back to shelter.
The smallest creatures in this ocean help build one of Earth's most complex worlds. When the ocean gathers life into one motion, the reef seems to breathe. The ancient ocean hides many of its stories where sunlight can barely reach. These living structures turn the ocean into a maze of refuge and opportunity. In the ocean's sheltered corners, hidden life waits for the right moment to move. The farther we look into this ocean, the more ancient and alive it becomes.
Some lives in this ocean are measured not by distance, but by the safety of a single crack.
The reef is the memory of the ocean, built slowly by countless living hands. From above, it is only water. From below, the ocean becomes a universe. The current feeds the reef, and the reef gives the ocean a place for life to gather. Along these walls, the ancient ocean rises like a living cliff. In this ocean, danger and shelter can exist within the same delicate form. Every passage through the reef leads deeper into the ocean's hidden design. Life in this ocean is arranged between the brightness above and the shadows below. The ocean teaches movement through rhythm, and the reef answers with life. In this sea, a shadow is enough to make hidden life vanish. The reef reaches into the sea, and the sea answers with light and food. Changing color, changing shape, some creatures turn the Red Sea into a living illusion. Every meter of this seafloor contains a hidden story waiting in silence. The sea can hide a body beneath almost nothing. Beyond the first gate, the Red Sea opens into a kingdom built entirely by life. Inside the smallest cracks of the Red Sea, hidden life begins to appear. Sometimes the Red Sea reveals only evidence, not the life itself. What appears solid is alive, fragile, and constantly changing beneath the sea.
Some creatures in this sea survive by becoming almost invisible.
In this sea, every branch of coral becomes shelter for hundreds of fragile lives. But beyond these hidden chambers, the Red Sea begins to move with greater force. The Red Sea teaches caution to even the smallest creatures. The coral kingdom of the Red Sea is not silent. It is alive with constant motion. The Red Sea sand is not empty. It is a thin veil over secret lives. The smallest spaces in the reef can mean the difference between life and danger. Inside the reef, the Red Sea builds homes above, below, and between. Even before night, the hidden corners of the Red Sea already belong to secret lives. The hidden life has shown how the Red Sea protects the small. Now the moving sea will reveal the balance of survival. Layer by layer, the sea has shaped this reef into a living city. Spines, shells, shadows, and cracks all become tools for survival in this sea.
The smallest defenders in the Red Sea guard doors no larger than a shell.
In this sea, stillness can be the strongest form of protection. Hidden life in this sea is not rare. It is simply easy to miss. The Red Sea builds diversity, not with one shape, but with thousands. The sea current connects every coral, every fish, and every hidden mouth. Every cave in the Red Sea reef may hold a life waiting beyond the light. Across the sand, the Red Sea leaves clues of lives that move unseen. Beneath the visible reef, the Red Sea holds another reef of secrets. Soft corals move with the sea,
turning the current into a slow underwater dance. In one small corner of the Red Sea, many lives can share the same shelter. Behind the bright reef face, the Red Sea keeps quieter chambers of life. Some hidden lives are so delicate that the sea itself nearly erases them. The sea can hide a body beneath almost nothing.
To understand this sea, we must look below the obvious beauty.
A single coral patch is only one room in the vast palace of the Red Sea. Here, hidden service becomes survival, and the sea rewards patience. Among the corals, color becomes a way to find food, avoid danger, and belong. The deeper the crevice, the more the Red Sea hides from view. The builders of this sea are small, but together they create a world. The Coral Kingdom is not only shelter, it is a place of exchange. In the Red Sea, a predator can look exactly like the reef itself. Above the reef, the sea gathers movement into living clouds. Camouflage turns the seafloor into both a hiding place and a hunting ground. Small armor, slow steps, and perfect disguise help life cross the Red Sea floor. The Coral Kingdom stretches across the seafloor, connected by hidden paths of sand and current. The reef forms chambers large enough for entire communities to gather. Even the open sand between corals belongs to the rhythm of the sea. Between the coral walls, the sea creates roads for life to move safely. Inside the tunnel, the Red Sea becomes a hidden world within the reef. Some hidden lives wait in darkness, watching the sea from a single opening. Some corals in this sea grow like maps of time, marked by years of quiet survival. The higher the coral climbs, the more the sea fills it with life. Every surface in the Red Sea can become a feeding ground, a shelter, or a hiding place. Even in the shadows of the Red Sea, strange partnerships quietly continue. At the edge of the Coral Kingdom, the sea begins to change again. For small creatures, the reef is a maze built by the sea for survival. Near the crest, sunlight feeds the reef, and the Red Sea becomes dazzling. In the Coral Kingdom, danger and protection often grow side by side. Shade becomes shelter in the Red Sea, and every ledge can hide a life. A single hole in the Red Sea reef can become an entire home. This is the Coral Kingdom at its brightest, a living crown beneath the sea. The Red Sea reveals its secret lives only for a moment, then hides them again. But beneath the colors of the Red Sea, even smaller hidden lives are waiting to be found. The reef changes with every few meters of sea, revealing new colors and new forms. Even feeding becomes part of the reef's rhythm, shaping the sea one bite at a time. Even the sand itself can open and release life into the sea. The Coral Kingdom has shown its beauty. Now the Red Sea will reveal the lives hidden within its cracks. Inside the coral thicket, the sea becomes a maze only small bodies can enter. The hidden life of the Red Sea often begins below the surface of the sand. In this sea, intelligence can wear the color of stone. The Red Sea hides its most delicate life in places protected from the open water. The Red Sea gives some creatures not only shelter, but a way to disappear. Here, the reef rises like a living wall built by the sea itself. A borrowed shell becomes a moving fortress across the Red Sea sand. The current brings food, and the Coral Kingdom reaches into the sea to receive it. What looks like dust in the sea can become nourishment for an entire reef. On the seafloor, slow creatures quietly recycle the reef's forgotten fragments. The Red Sea reef is crowded, yet every creature finds its own place. Some lives remain hidden beneath stones, touching the sea without fully leaving shelter. The Red Sea reef is full of doors that open and close in silence. Beyond one coral garden, the sea opens into another, and the kingdom continues. Beauty in the Red Sea can also carry warning. Near the seafloor, smaller lives keep close to the border between sand and stone. In the shadows, the sea hides forms both graceful and dangerous. The higher the reef rises, the more life gathers in the moving seawater. Transparency is another disguise, making life shimmer like the sea itself. A single coral island can become an entire world within the sea. Hidden chambers inside the reef make the sea safer for the smallest lives. Where light grows weak, the Red Sea shelters colors the open reef rarely sees. The current organizes the sea, guiding food, movement, and survival.
Some of the sea's strangest beauty moves only a few centimeters at a time.
Some fish travel the reef like a herd across an underwater landscape.
In the Red Sea, hidden life can be smaller than a finger and richer than a jewel. The best disguise in this sea is to become part of the reef's shape. In this sea, even care and cleaning become part of the reef's hidden order. The Coral Kingdom is held together by countless small exchanges. Where the sea moves gently, small lives hold on and become almost impossible to see. On the Red Sea floor, partnership can turn a fragile burrow into a safer home. Not all life here is bright coral. The sea also shelters quiet forms that filter and clean. One digs, one watches, and together they read the sea for danger. The reef is architecture, and the sea fills every passage with motion. Under the coral roof, the Red Sea keeps another layer of hidden life. Tiny filters open into the sea, gathering food from water that never stops moving. Light returns,
and the coral kingdom expands again across the sea. Fast-moving schools carry energy from one part of the reef to another. The coral kingdom is beautiful, but the sea has built it with defenses. To live here, every creature must read the sea and respond instantly. Some coral shapes create quiet rooms where the sea becomes calmer. Across the reef plain, each coral island offers safety in the open sea. The reef gives the sea a place where small lives can vanish instantly.
When the coral kingdom awakens, the Red Sea seems to bloom with fish.
Some hidden lives do not chase food. They cast invisible nets into the sea. Not every creature in the Red Sea reveals its full form to the open water. The best refuge in the Red Sea can be another living body. Even fierce creatures in this sea understand the value of retreat. The more closely we study the Red Sea, the more hidden lives begin to emerge from the reef. The hidden world of the Red Sea does not end at one crack. It continues deeper into the reef.
Within a hole no wider than a finger, the sea can hide a fierce and intelligent hunter.
Many hunters of the Red Sea begin as hidden faces inside the reef. In the Red Sea, even a nearly invisible thread can mean survival. Some hidden fish of the Red Sea look less like swimmers and more like pieces of the reef. In this sea, disguise can become armor, shelter, and identity at once. Some creatures in this sea survive by wearing the reef itself. Caution is one of the first instincts learned in the Red Sea.
In the Red Sea, camouflage can be built one fragment at a time.
Patience is the only way to see certain lives in this sea. The Red Sea allows some creatures to vanish by looking like everything around them. Hidden life in this sea is not only survival, it is also protection of the next generation. Partnership on the Red Sea floor can turn a fragile hole into a defended home. Some hidden lives of this sea move like living patterns across the reef. On the sand of the Red Sea, stillness becomes a form of concealment. Transparency lets some lives of the Red Sea become part of the water around them. A future reef community can begin as tiny dots beneath a coral ledge.
Some creatures of the Red Sea become invisible by becoming almost flat.
One works, one watches, and together they read the sea for danger.
Some fish of the Red Sea choose the cave as their daylight shelter. To survive here, a body must sometimes move like the sea itself. The Red Sea is filled with small doors that open only when the water feels safe. The Red Sea can hide an entire body beneath a veil of sand. The Red Sea often hides one secret beneath another. Some hidden lives do not chase food.
They cast invisible nets into the sea. Even the youngest hidden lives in this sea learn to disappear. Among the broken pieces of the reef, the Red Sea shelters its youngest hidden lives. Stillness inside the cave is part of the rhythm of this sea. A tiny tunnel in the Red Sea can hold one of the reef's most alert hunters.
In this sea, disappearance can happen faster than a heartbeat.
The Red Sea rewards those who can become lines, shadows, and stems. Even the softest shapes rising from the sand can belong to hidden life. The sand of the Red Sea can bloom with lives that vanish the moment danger approaches. Every small opening in the Red Sea reef suggests another hidden story. A simple hole in the Red Sea sand can become a fortress for a watchful parent. In this sea, some creatures survive by copying the movement of the reef. One coral head can hold the sea in layers, buried, hidden, sheltered, and free. Inside the caves of the Red Sea, hidden life gathers where light weakens. Even in the shadows of this sea, life continues its quiet cycles. The Red Sea floor is a page written by creatures that rarely show themselves. The best disguise in the Red Sea is to become part of the coral's rhythm. Some hidden lives of the Red Sea are built for darkness, waiting where the reef turns inward. Some hunters of the Red Sea hide beneath the very floor of the sea. A life can cross the open seafloor for only seconds before returning to shelter. Even in hidden corners of the sea, cooperation keeps the reef alive. The deeper the crack, the more the Red Sea seems to multiply. Some of the rarest beauty in the Red Sea moves more slowly than the current. What shines above is only the surface of the Red Sea's hidden life. The closer we look at this sea, the more enormous the small world becomes. Rock caves beneath the reef protect lives that rarely enter the open sea. Some hidden lives in the Red Sea cling so quietly that the sea itself seems to hold them. By matching both shape and motion, life in this sea can almost erase itself. Inside the reef, the Red Sea feeds creatures that never need to chase. The smallest lives of the Red Sea gather where the water becomes calm.
Inside a cavity of the reef, the sea feeds another life, in complete silence.
Many hidden lives of the Red Sea begin as a face at the edge of darkness. The Red Sea hides life not by removing it, but by blending it into rhythm. The sea gathers its smallest lives in pockets too quiet for larger eyes to notice. A single crack in the Red Sea can support an entire hidden community. The boundary between animal and sand becomes almost impossible to read. In this sea, transformation can be quieter than movement. The obvious beauty of the reef often hides the smaller drama taking place below.
A moving shell can become one of the Red Sea's smallest hidden travelers. On the seafloor, many small lives overlap without disturbing each other. Some hidden creatures live by opening themselves to the sea and trusting their speed of retreat. In this sea, a single shadow can make a life disappear. Color, texture, and movement turn the Red Sea into a theater of illusion. Hidden life in this sea often survives by living upon other lives. One small shelter in the Red Sea can protect many species at once. The underside of the reef is another world in the Red Sea, hidden from bright water above. The hidden world of this sea reveals itself only to patient eyes. Hidden life in the Red Sea is not rare at all. It simply lives beneath attention. From coral cracks to open sand, the Red Sea hides life in every texture. Where the reef meets the sand, another layer of the Red Sea begins. One coral head in the Red Sea can hold an entire vertical neighborhood of secret lives. What appears simple in the Red Sea is often layered with lives too small to notice at first. Every meter of this sea holds another hidden door. The Red Sea is never still. Even after calm, the current returns and reshapes life again.
Some predators hold their power in formation, waiting for the sea to bring opportunity.
The same current that tests the reef also feeds it.
When the Red Sea current grows stronger, every creature must choose where to move, where to hide, and where to feed. Beyond the hidden cracks, the Red Sea begins to move with greater force. In the Red Sea, even the current can divide, forcing life to choose a path in moving water. When the sea begins to run, the school becomes a river of living silver. The Red Sea arranges life by strength, size, hunger, and timing. In this sea, a school is more than a crowd. It is a single decision shared by thousands. The school bends with the sea, then reforms before danger can find a weakness. In open water, safety comes from moving together as one living shape. A single rush through the sea can change the direction of hundreds. Together, they read the Red Sea faster than any single body could. Predators do not always attack. Sometimes their presence alone reshapes the sea. Hunters use the current as cover, rising from below where the school least expects them.
The Red Sea turns movement into defense, and the school becomes harder to break.
Around the pinnacle, the Red Sea turns fear into a spinning tower of life. Pressure turns scattered fish into one living shield. The reef is the answer the Red Sea gives to danger. The hunters follow the current because the current gathers life. From below, the balance of survival appears as a storm of light and shadow. Inside the reef, the sea becomes narrow, protected, and full of escape routes. Where many small fish gather, the hunters of the sea
are never far away. Inside the living tower, every fish follows the sea, and the fish beside it. In the Red Sea, fear can turn thousands of lives into one shield. Where warm and cooler sea layers meet, even the shark appears to move through liquid glass. From below, survival in the sea looks like a storm passing across the sun. The Red Sea offers two choices at once: shelter in the reef or speed in open water. A single change in the sea can move an entire community at once. The reef protects the small by turning the sea into a maze. The Red Sea offers more than one escape, but every escape has its own risk. In this sea, safety can be only a few centimeters wide. Below the shark's path, the sand hides another hunter, moving by touch and patience. A distant shark can change the shape of the sea before it comes close. The reef protects the small, while the open sea tests the strong. Even in powerful water, the reef creates quiet rooms for survival. The shark moves through the Red Sea like a law the reef understands. The ray searches the seafloor like a slow shadow, reading invisible signs. Not every hunter in the Red Sea moves quickly. Some wait with ancient patience. Even powerful hunters in the Red Sea must pause and depend on smaller lives. Balance in this sea is built across layers of depth, motion, and hunger. Below the moving schools, another hunter waits beneath the sand.
The same current that brings danger also brings food.
The same reef can be a hospital, a shelter, and a hunting ground. Some predators of the Red Sea gather in silence before they move. The ray does not chase through the sea. It searches with quiet precision. Some schools form not as a cloud, but as a living curtain across the sea. Every movement across the seafloor sends a signal through the reef. The reef feels every change in the water before the eye understands it. The current that exposes danger also carries food through the Red Sea. The sea arranges life according to who can hold the current. At the edge of the reef, the shark moves like the shadow of the sea itself. A hunt can be a test of pressure long before it becomes a chase. One sudden pass can turn feeding into escape. The strongest water creates the most valuable stillness. The coral reef receives the moving sea and breaks it into hiding places. Balance in the Red Sea is not stillness, it is constant adjustment. To cross open seawater, even strong swimmers travel together. Their formation is a silent warning written in silver. Beyond the coral, the open sea holds hunters built for patience and speed. not all movement in the Red Sea happens above the sand. A shadow crossing the reef can speak louder than a strike. Their formation is a warning written across the blue sea. A ray moves through the sea, as if the sea floor itself has learned to fly. The reef senses danger through movement before any strike occurs. Every passing body sends a message through the Red Sea community. Under the coral roof, the hunted become part of the reef's hidden architecture. The Red Sea current is both river and road, carrying food through the reef. Behind coral, the Red Sea creates quiet pockets inside powerful water. When the current delivers food, the Red Sea fills with sudden hunger. Every return to the current is a small act of survival. Each layer of the sea holds a different role in the balance of life. Food brings the small into the open, and the open sea brings risk. The strongest swimmers do not fight the sea, they borrow its force. The attack is not the story, the reaction of the sea is. The hunters move in circles, turning the sea into a living arena. For the small, unity is the shield that the Red Sea provides. Inside the school, the Red Sea becomes a storm of instinct. A near miss is enough to reshape the sea in an instant. In the Red Sea, survival can happen just beyond the reach of a larger mouth. When pressure fades, the sea relaxes into a new pattern. The grouper does not need speed when its presence alone opens space in the reef. Below the racing schools, patience waits in the rock. When danger rises, the reef becomes the safest place in the sea. The Coral Kingdom protects those small enough to enter its maze. The reef shelters the hunted, but it also shelters the hunter. Large hunters share the Red Sea without moving in the same way. In this sea, size can be strength, but it can also be limitation. The visible sea and the hidden sea are always moving together. On the sand, the ray follows clues that the open water hunters never see. A shadow above the Red Sea can change every decision below. The seafloor hides life, but it cannot hide every movement forever. Patience is another kind of speed in the Red Sea. The shark belongs to open sea paths, where awareness is everything. Above the reef, the shark keeps the open sea in balance. Life pauses for the hunter, then the sea begins again. Hunger connects the smallest coral mouth to the largest predator in the sea. A single predator can guide the motion of thousands.
The Red Sea balances life not in one line, but across many levels.
When the shadow passes, the Red Sea settles, but never fully relaxes.
On the seafloor, survival is quieter, but no less precise. Each creature follows a separate path, yet all are shaped by the same Red Sea. Even gentle movement can uncover hidden fear beneath the sand.
Each movement in the Red Sea creates another movement nearby. The stronger the current, the more the reef comes alive. The sea offers many escapes, but each one is made for a different body.
In the Red Sea, direction itself can become a survival strategy. Inside the school, the sea becomes a storm of living instinct. The sea unites life when danger rises and divides it when the moment passes. The reef and the open sea divide the rules of survival.
Not every hunt must end to change the balance of the reef.
Every level of the reef offers a different answer to danger.
Some hunters never leave the reef. They let the sea bring life close.
The reef receives the frightened sea and turns movement back into hiding. Inside the coral, small lives enter a world that larger hunters cannot follow. Even predators in the Red Sea are part of relationships that keep the reef alive.
The sea holds beauty and threat in the same turning circle.
After panic, the sea creates stillness where life can reset.
From below, the hunters become shadows written across the light. The Red Sea is not ruled by one creature, but balanced by many lives moving at once. The current returns like a pulse, reminding every life that the sea is always changing.
Feeding in the Red Sea means watching the water as much as the food.
Food draws life together, and the sea quickly becomes a chain of hunger.
The hunter leaves, but its memory remains in the movement of the reef.
From coral to predator, the Red Sea holds every life in balance.
As the day slows, the Red Sea prepares for a different kind of life. The hunters of daylight withdraw, and the reef's hidden chambers grow darker. Different hunters use different paths, but all are shaped by the same sea. The sea erases signs of struggle, but the balance remains beneath the surface. The Red Sea is not ruled by one predator, but by many roles working together.
When light begins to leave the Red Sea, survival changes its rules. After every disturbance, the sea finds a new pattern. This is the Red Sea in motion, ancient water carrying modern life. The day has shown the balance of hunger and shelter. Now the Red Sea will reveal what awakens after the light disappears. Where the current tightens, the balance of survival becomes sharper.
The reef breaks the force of the sea, giving life places to rest. Safety in this sea is temporary, always changing with the next shadow. The chase does not need an ending to shape the behavior of the reef. After danger, the sea holds a brief silence before life continues.
As the sea light softens, the reef begins to prepare for another transformation. The Dale's hunters drift away, but the Red Sea never truly sleeps. The balance of survival has shaped the day. Now the Red Sea will reveal what awakens when the light begins to disappear. The hidden lives of the Red Sea have shown their secret shelters. Beyond them, the sea's larger forces are waiting. As sunset reaches the Red Sea, the reef begins its transformation into a more secret world. Night has settled over the Red Sea, and the reef is now ruled by quieter, stranger life. The Red Sea night grows deeper, and the hidden life of the sea becomes even more mysterious. Above the Red Sea, moonlight replaces the sun, and the reef begins to glow in silence. In the darkness, the Red Sea reef turns outward, opening itself to the sea for food. In the Red Sea, evening is not an ending, but the opening of another rhythm. As the sea light fades, the reef begins to fold many of its daytime lives into shelter. Night feeding reveals how many hidden lives in the Red Sea depend on the drifting life of the sea. At night, the smallest lives in the sea become the atmosphere through which everything moves. As darkness deepens, the Red Sea fills with smaller drifting life, and the sea itself becomes richer. The reef is no longer only shelter. In the Red Sea night, it becomes a field of feeding mouths. When darkness approaches, the hidden mouths of the Red Sea reef begin to open. And in darkness, shapes hidden by daylight become the quiet architecture of the sea. Night turns the coral kingdom of the Red Sea into a living forest of feeders. At night, even the open sea above the reef becomes a feeding ground. The first night walkers of the Red Sea move carefully, feeling the water before every step. What floats unseen through the sea becomes food for lives that wait for darkness. Small hidden creatures of the Red Sea wait for darkness before crossing the reef. As night approaches, the Red Sea begins to fill with smaller, drifting life. Night travel in the Red Sea happens beneath a sky of drifting sea life. On the night seafloor, every movement is measured against the possibility of danger. Some hidden creatures of the Red Sea reveal their true form only after darkness arrives. In the evening sea, even the smallest drifting bodies begin to shape the life around them. The Red Sea seafloor becomes busier when daylight no longer dominates the reef. In the night sea, one hidden life often becomes the shelter for another. Many fish of the Red Sea seek shelter in caves while the night hunters begin to move. The hidden creatures of the Red Sea begin to leave their shelters when the light grows weak. The caves of the Red Sea hold their own quiet night communities. Night in the Red Sea belongs to lives that move best beneath the edge of darkness. The Red Sea night belongs to creatures that can change with every surface they touch. Now the hidden eel of the Red Sea begins its true night movement. The sea caves of the Red Sea hold many watchers of the night. In this sea, disappearance can be as graceful as movement. In the darker spaces of the sea, entire communities wait in fragile stillness. Another mind awakens in the Red Sea, patient, curious, and almost impossible to predict. Through the night sea, the eel travels like a line of moving shadow. Every movement of a night predator changes the behavior of the Red Sea reef. As night deepens in the Red Sea, the hidden hunters begin to wake. The octopus does not simply move through the sea. It reads the Red Sea with every touch. Patience and shadow give the night hunters of the sea their advantage. Every object on the night sea floor may hide food, danger, or another secret. Another intelligence of the Red Sea waits for darkness to move more freely. Night gives the octopus the confidence to become part of the moving sea. From the dark rock, the eel enters the Red Sea night like a living shadow. From its rocky chamber, the eel enters the night sea with calm precision. Every movement in the Red Sea night sends a message through the reef. When the eel moves, the hidden reef responds before the sea appears to change.